Today we're joined by Mel from Finance for Business and Julian, our Business Relationship Manager, and myself, Aidan Doyle. I'm the Client Services Manager for Supreme Systems. Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Hi. So today we're going to have a little chat about returning to work after COVID-19. It's been a crazy year for everybody. What did normal look like for you before the pandemic, Mel, in terms of how did people generally work at Finance for Business?
Well, we was all office based. We've never really worked from home. There's a couple of people that had laptops that did a bit from home, but we never really had any working from home. So it's all office PCs, desktops, and face-to-face meetings. So we never did anything like Zoom or Teams or COVID.
You're quite active in the office as well, wasn't you, Mel? You used to have quite a lot of people coming in to see you.
Yeah, it's a very social industry, so we always have people in and out of our office, and the work always gets done when it's face-to-face. It's all about relationships.
Okay, so a pretty typical office setup, but with the added social aspect.
Yes, that's it. With our roof terrace, which everyone's keen to get on.
Sure.
So, what was the experience like of transitioning to COVID-19? How long did it take?
Yeah, it sort of happened very quick, and I must say that would have been through the help of Supreme. I phoned Aidan up and said, I think we need to sort out how we can all work from home. I think it's going to happen. And Aidan was like, yep, we're ready for you. So it was a case of finding out, because we didn't have any or didn't have laptops for everybody, so it was finding out from the staff who had personal devices, and was everyone happy to be set up to be able to use those from home. And then it was down, or there was a few users that didn't, so we had to try and locate them laptops, and Supreme kindly have loaned us one for one of our users. And then it was a case for you guys really of you put together what everyone needed to do to be able to work from home, and then over, I think it was about 2 or 3 days, everyone was just testing to make sure that they could work from home while we were still in the office. And then I think it was on the Thursday of that week, it was okay, we're all working from home now.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and it was pretty smooth considering.
Yeah.
That's quite impressive, actually. Other than the laptops, were there any other challenges that you had to get over?
I think you were quite lucky, right? Phones and things, because you had the phone system out, didn't you, already?
Yeah, because we have the VoIP phones with 3CX, I think, because that's always the biggest concern, how we're going to speak to our clients. And as you guys know, we have to have our calls recorded, and that was always the biggest thing. How can we do that? Everyone can work from their phones, and we can divert calls to mobiles, but to be able to set up with our system so the calls can be recorded, and so people can pick up the calls as they normally come in, so the end users don't see any different. We were lucky in that respect that we already had 3CX set up. We did have a slight problem because we needed to upgrade our system, so we had a few people that weren't able to get it on their mobiles at the time, which has since been rectified. But we managed to set up the app on everyone's devices, so they were able to use headphones and answer the calls that way. So there were some issues, but between us, we worked our way around them.
Okay, great. And how did the staff respond to the working from home change?
Everyone responded really well. It was a big change for us all, and even now we're all still working from home, and everyone's responding really well. The outputs are all still there. Okay, business levels have decreased since COVID, but we're starting to see that increase more and more. But everyone was keeping themselves busy, and we could see everyone was active. So we've been really impressed with what the staff have done.
Okay, that's great. Well, I think the economic situation has been pretty much the same across the board. Hopefully we see a bit of a rebound on that soon. So
yeah, we can definitely see a difference already, so that's good.
Excellent. So moving towards preparations for returning to office working, how are you looking at that? Is that something that you're going to try and do soon, or are you going to phase return, or is it more of a long-term plan?
Okay, so we've been looking at it for a while, and we keep saying, oh, this month we'll come back, but we've just been seeing how the current climate is for it all, really, and following the direction of the government. So we're hoping for September for everyone to be back in the office. Although it will be a bit, there'll be certain people that will be working from the office, and then there'll be others that will have the flexibility, because we know that they can work from home and they've got the right setup to be able to do that. But at the moment our office is open 24/7, and we're encouraging staff to have a few days in the office, so it's sort of phasing them back for September. I was in the office last week, I think it was, and it was like it was a normal day, because there were quite a few teams in, and it was really nice to see everyone. And everyone that has come in that have been a bit unsure about coming back have said, do you know what, it's really nice to be back, and I'm glad to have a day in the office, change of scenery. So I think we're doing it the right way, giving people the encouragement and the tools they need to come back. The office is set up, so we've got the distancing in place, there's sanitising everywhere, all the notifications and signage are around the office. So those that have been back have enjoyed it, and there's still a few that have got a day or two to do in August. But yeah, hopefully if the schools are back in September, then we can get back to a bit more normality in September.
Okay, you mentioned the social distancing there. How have you enforcing is the wrong word, but how are you encouraging the social distancing in the office, reminding people?
Yeah, so we're quite lucky, because when we moved into our office we didn't occupy all of our desks, so we've still got quite a number of desks available. So all I've done is done a desk space in between. So there'll be a member of staff, an empty desk, a member of staff, and then opposite, you'll always have an empty desk opposite you. Right. So I've set it up so there's signs on the desks that people are allowed to use and not allowed to use. And then I've also put together a plan. So I've sent a plan to everybody so they know what desks are in use and what desks are out of use. One thing that I did come across is one end of the office, the desks are closer together. So I've actually had to take out a whole bank of desks and have those as out of use, because otherwise they were too close to the people that were the other side of that walkway. So what we've done is, that's only a team of 3 anyway, so we've just set them up in our biggest meeting room in the boardroom, so that's now this, so they can do the distancing in there, and as long as the door's open. So we've set that up. So it seems to be working as it is, but like I said, I don't think we're always going to have everybody in the office, so we won't even use all the desks that are available.
Yeah, that makes sense.
How it's set up. But if everyone was in, we can work distance. It's all set up so they can do the social distancing, which is good.
Do you think you'll have a bit of blended working now then, with home and office?
Yeah, definitely. I think so. There are plans to change some changes in our office, which we're looking at the moment, and that will definitely be a lot more working from home, working in the office, and maybe not having a set desk, having different working areas or working stations for people to work from. Mm-hmm. So yeah, we're definitely looking at doing things differently. We were originally looking at moving to different offices as the business grows and getting bigger offices. That's definitely not happening now, and we're going to stay where we are and work with the great space that we've got already to make it better.
That certainly makes a lot of sense. Why spend the extra money if people can enjoy the flexibility of working from home when they want to or when they need to, and it saves money on expensive rentals, office rentals, and that sort of thing. Have you done anything like hot desking, or does everyone have an assigned desk now?
At the moment, everyone has an assigned desk, but I think moving forward there will be more hot desking. I think I think for certain members of staff there'll be some fixed desks, but in the main we'll have hot desks, and people will either book. I don't know how it's going to look. I don't know how many desks they're going to be, but especially as the team grows, it'll probably be a case of you might need to book a space or work out some sort of rotoring system. But yeah, it will definitely be hot desking available. The other thing that I think will change is how we do. Like we said, we did a lot. Everything was face-to-face meetings, and we definitely need to do that within our business. But I think there will be more of a, okay, we can't get face-to-face, and there'll be more Zoom and team meetings going on. I know our interview process will be a lot like that. I think the first interview will be on a video call of some description.
Oh, wow.
And then the second interview will then be a face-to-face one.
Yeah.
So I know that's already changed, and I think that will change for other meetings that we're holding.
It's interesting you say that. I was talking to another customer yesterday, and they said something very similar to what you said. I think it's quite interesting for an interview process to work that way. But then if you think about my role talking to you, we always used to travel around the UK to do sort of the client-facing sort of thing, and even they were saying, well, would you drive an hour to come and see me anymore, or would you just like to stick to this? And I sort of said, well, what would you feel like? And they even said, well, I'm actually quite happy to do video call going forwards now, because we are conscious of the fact that you're having to travel for like an hour and a half. That's a 3-hour sort of chunk out of the day. So I think it'll make people a lot more productive.
Yeah, I think it's nice to have a mixture as well, because there face-to-face contact, I know we are face-to-face now, but seeing someone in the flesh is very different to a video call. But a mixture of both of those things, I don't think is a bad thing.
Yeah. I think going forward, that is what will happen. I think at the moment people are very enthusiastic about video calling because it's quite new to most people, and they haven't had to rely on it in the past, so it's been traditional face-to-face. So currently, with the way things have been over the last few months, video calling has shown what a huge value it has. So now we're all in video calling mode, but I think over time it will start to even out, and I think there'll be horses for courses. I think people will use video calls when they're more appropriate, and face-to-face meetings when they're more appropriate too.
I think you're right, because it was never popular before when we used to if I used to offer a meeting on a web call, they'd say, oh no, I'd rather you come in. But I think, like you're saying, people might be a bit more susceptible to it now.
Yeah.
I'd never done a video call before COVID.
Really?
Yeah.
And
that's the same for a lot of our staff. Yeah. I know some of the lenders, if they wanted to meet a client and they were at a different part of the country, the client used to have to come into our office. Wow. And the staff used to sit with them and do a video call. That was as much as we did as a business, really. So it really has changed how we do stuff.
It's I mean, trying to find the silver lining in every situation. If what COVID-19 has done is to open us up to new ways of working and to be more flexible, then that's not a bad thing.
Yeah, I was talking to our the landlords in our building, and they were saying COVID seems to have brought us on 5 years of how we're working. They could see this coming, this working from home and video calls and things like that, and they said it's jumped 5 years. It's ahead of itself.
That's a good thing. Absolutely. Okay. So I think that's probably good enough, guys. Thank you very much for taking part today.